Hey y'all, welcome back to this week's episode of AMA Friday with Amy Miller, Recruiting in Yoga Pants. So this week we're going to dig into mechanisms you can use or that you might run into if you're a job seeker when it comes to high volume hiring. So we've been talking about this for a couple weeks now. We started with an overview, kind of explained what is high volume hiring. No, it does not automatically mean low quality. Anyway, and last week we talked about how recruiters and business leaders really need to define the problem that we're trying to solve for. Like, we really need to understand, like, is this a seasonal thing? Is this like standing up something brand new? Is this an ongoing hiring need that's going to exist forever and ever? Amen. Like, there's some nuances there. So we covered that last week. So check out those two videos if you have not already. So it might be worth a little peek. And then come on back, because we're going to talk about some specific things recruiters can do and things that job seekers might be experiencing as you are looking for your next role. All right, I wrote this out ahead of time. I was trying to be prepared. The whiteboard. No. Actually, I tried to record this earlier and anyway. We're trying again. But I thought this made sense. So this is our funnel. We'll go through each thing that I wrote down here. But basically, we start with the end in mind, right? So we start with like, oh, I need to hire 20 people. Maybe that's the goal. Maybe that's the initial, like the ask for this week or this month or whatever it is. I don't know. High volume can be any number of things, as we learned from the feedback we got. But we start with the end goal in mind, and then we got to figure out what are the funnel steps to get us to that target. So we talked a lot about sourcing. We talk about sourcing and also incoming applications. I get a lot of incoming applications. Very grateful for that. I have a sourcing team who manages these pipelines. They're also out there knocking on doors, boots on the ground, pinging people on LinkedIn and Indeed. We get a really good response on Indeed, actually. I'm really impressed with what we've been able to draw from there. So that's good. I don't always like Indeed, but I like Indeed for this. So that's working out really well for us. Something else that we've done, so this is a mechanism my current company has specifically put in place, is we have worked with our employer branding team, who is wonderful, by the way. Love them. Amazing, amazing humans. They have created a landing page for us. Like, our career site actually has a specific page now that is specific to manufacturing and production, which is super exciting. So we're doing all of this work to really get the word out and to get people excited about our open roles and to have something that we can quickly share to help educate our potential candidates on why this is cool and why they should take a chance on us. So I'm super grateful for that. That helps a ton in just driving more applicants and getting the word out and getting people excited about what we're building. So huge, huge help. If you have an employer branding team or you have the capability of creating some really cool content or landing pages or videos or any of that stuff, it's helped us out tremendously. So I'm super grateful for all the work that team has done. Job seekers, go find that data. Go find that info. Learn about the job before you apply. See if it's something that really lights you up. Pro tip. Okay, now we've done that. We have this enormous top of the funnel, lots of people excited about us, lots of people interested. We still have to go through those applications and we have to hopefully make sure as many as possible fit those requirements. Gotta meet 100%, babes. Sorry. I mean, we work really hard to make our job descriptions really fair and measurable and reasonable. Those basic qualifications, non-negotiables for us. So please keep that in mind. But how do we kind of continue to filter through those applications? So we have landed on kind of an assessment of sorts. So something that we do, this is not a formal assessment or like an online assessment. You will see those out in the wild. I know a lot of software teams will use online assessments, things like that, not unheard of. But we do it a little bit differently on my team. We actually just send an email. You know, we find people who've applied, or we find people that we think could be great that are actively looking, and we'll send them a note, you know, like, hey, thanks so much for your interest, or hey, you know, once we've kind of established that there's a potential fit and interest there, we're going to send over basically like a questionnaire, and we're just going to verify some things. We're going to verify, like, okay, you have, you know, the right level of experience. Do you, you know, this compensation band works for you. We're very transparent about compensation. You know, we just want to make sure, like, the commute, the hours, we're doing shift work, right? So some folks, like, we're targeting specifically second shift, or we're targeting specifically weekend works, things of that nature. So we want to make sure we're calling that out. So we're using this very quick, you know, 30-second copy paste job to drop those questions or drop that information into an email or a chat, and letting people confirm, you know, and then folks can opt in or out at that stage. They may have, you know, rethought it. Yeah, actually that comp doesn't work for me, I'm out. Or, ooh, no, that's really not the hours I want to work, I'm out. That's fine. So we want to establish that up front, and to do that at scale, that a lot of times is over email, or, you know, through some other kind of communication, typically email. All right. What's next? So once we've established, like, we've kind of narrowed down our applicant pool, and we've got the people who are a good fit, very interested, meet the criteria, willing to work the shifts, willing to take the money, all the things. Now we're going into what we would consider our final interviews. Friends, once again, interviews are not only a two-way street, but it is a data collection exercise. This is an opportunity for you, the job seeker, to find out more about the role, about the opportunity, about the people you might work with, get an understanding of a day in life, to decide if the role is right for you. It is an opportunity for us, my recruiters, my business partners, my engineers, my technical leads, whatever, to gather data about your work history, your superpowers, your experiences, to make sure that there's a good fit. So an interview process, we worked really hard to make this truly the minimum amount of lift needed to get the data required. So we've got it down where we've actually been able to eliminate phone screens in some cases and just move straight to an interview. We've also done interview days where we'll bring in a bunch of people on the same day and try to make a bunch of offers and, like, kind of knock out a big old hiring effort quickly. We've just tried to be really creative, right? And really, again, get the right amount of data. I'm not going to ever suggest we don't need to gather certain data, or we don't need to vet and verify certain things. Of course we do. But we want to do that efficiently, we want to do it quickly, and we want to do it fairly. So we want that same interview process within reason for everyone that we're talking to within a particular job family, job level, etc. So, all right, so that's another big mechanism. And then, of course, making offers, right? So our offers are pretty streamlined. We have a set hourly rate for several of these jobs. So it's pretty easy. We can turn them around very quickly and get them in front of people pretty fast. So we try to do those things just to, again, kind of keep the ball rolling and keep things moving quickly, but not losing that one-to-one touch point, not losing that. I want all of my candidates to feel valued. I want them to understand that there's a home for them here if there is a good solid fit on both sides. And so we do surveys as well. We'll send out post-interview surveys. We read that feedback. We take into consideration things that maybe didn't set well with a bunch of people. And so we have made adjustments to our interview process based on feedback we've received and working with our leadership to see, where we can flex and what we can add or subtract. So a lot of work goes into it. And essentially we want to create almost kind of this well-oiled machine that just runs, right? We have an ongoing influx of great people applying. We've got some really quick and easy low lift types of assessments, questionnaires type things that both sides can feel good about. not only collecting data, but also sharing the required data, getting through a very quick and streamlined interview process, and of course, following up with people very, very quickly once the interview is completed. So there's some checks and balances in there as well. Some promises we've made to our candidates about when you're going to hear back, what that's going to look like. Like, we're still trying to build all of those things in as well. So hopefully this goes well. Things are humming along. I get my offers out and they're accepted so that we're getting, again, meeting those hiring targets while maintaining quality, not only quality of hire, quality of candidate, but quality of experience. I want people to accept our offer and say, I really enjoyed that. I met the right people. I had the right conversations. I felt heard. I felt listened to. I feel like this is a great next step for me, and I'm excited to join. That's the goal, even at scale. All right, friends. I hope that helps. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like we've covered it. Is there anything more about high volume hiring you want to talk about? I don't know. I think we've done what we set out to do. But let me know down below. Drop a comment if you think there's more on this you want to discuss. We'll come up with something better next week, perhaps, to talk through. We'll see. But as always, I hope that helps. I hope that gave y'all some insight, whether you're a recruiter or a job seeker, on how all this stuff works and how you can make it work for you. And as always, we'll see you next week.